Hello, it is New Thought Tuesdays. I'm Dean Regan in here for Rich Smith and myself. Who are you being? Now, there's a lot of you out here who have heard that question, and you know who you're being. And so I'm going to ask you to ask yourself again, curiously, really, who am I being? Today, we're talking about the idea of that you are not your thoughts. Not. Your thoughts are something that you think. Your identity is so much greater than your physical body and your thinking. But most of us, including those of us in New Thought, often focus on the thoughts. Certainly this practitioner does. I've been focusing most clearly on who is Dean Regan being. So that's what we're talking about. When you ask, when somebody says, tell me who you are, obviously you're not going to go necessarily into, I am an infinite awareness of infinite awareness. I am love manifesting as every thought, word, and deed on the human plane. You're going to talk about, I'm so-and-so age, and I do this for a living, and I got this many kids, and I'm married or not married, whatever. I like race car driving. I like Mahjong. I don't know. Who you are, who I am, and who you are. Yes, you is so much more than that. And even for those, hello, Richard, even for those who know this is true, we're here today, Rich and I are here today to talk about taking a step back and identifying who you really are, that you-ness beyond the thoughts. So that's what we're talking about today. And Mr. Smith is going to be a little bit in and out. You know, when you have a successful business as Rich does, hey, the infinite filmmaker needs to go where the infinite filmmaker needs to go. So he will be in with us today.
Yeah.
Hey, Richard.
Hey, got to take care of all my clients. So, who am I? I got egg all over my computer. I just had breakfast. So, anyway, I am a unique, individualized emanation of the divine. That's all I really need to know. Everything else just flows. Just knowing that uh, we are, we are it. Whatever you're looking for, whatever you call it, God, divine presence, Buddha mind, Christ consciousness. Uh, Lao-Tzu calls it the Tao. Esther Hicks, source energy. Even George Lucas calls it the Force. The Force be with you, you know? So anyways, hey, I just went to see a screening of the third series of in the galaxy there. What's the name of it? The Star Wars.
Yes.
And what they do is they go back to the very beginning before Darth Vader, and they explain what happens in the first two. And so it was really cool going and seeing that, on the big screen. It was quite the experience. But, the good versus evil, um, the force, you can use it any way you want. You can use it to create goodness in your life. You can create, things that aren't so good, what you call the not so good or not good in your life. And so who you are is reflected in uh, who you are is reflected in what you're experiencing in your life. It's a reciprocal universe. What you put out, you get back. And so I know that I am a unique, individualized emanation of the divine. And as such, I am perfect, whole, and complete exactly the way I am. Everything's unfolding perfectly in my life. And
Okay.
that's pretty much all I have to know.
That's it. That's it. I'm whole, perfect, complete. I'm a perfect emanation of God. These things that we tell ourselves and get ingrained in ourselves. That's one of the things that we're talking about today is these are these awarenesses, these feelings are who we become, far beyond the idea of the thinking, of far beyond the idea of the daily doings that we do. And that was a mouthful that you just said, Rich, and it is so profound. Every statement, as far as I'm concerned, could be a full meditation series in my life of just the idea of being a perfect emanation of God. Well, how is that today for me? I recognize there's an overarching awareness, but how is it manifesting in my life today? One of the things I was talking about this week is I'm slowing down a bit. And I mean that most mindfully, not because of my age process, but I love to talk about this such stuff so much that I get excited about it. And I'm consciously wanting to be in a place of reverence while I'm speaking about new thought. So my beingness, I've actually said, I've been experiencing that excitement and I'd like to feel it in an even deeper manner. So I'm partially, that's what I'm bringing, this idea that Ernest Holmes talks about, there's a power in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it because it is individualized as you. There's a power greater in the universe than Dean is, and yet Dean is an expression of the aspects of that power. And that's just a mind-blowing awareness. So when Rich and I say, who are you being? How are you using your awareness of your faith to daily engage that faith in the thoughts you're thinking, the feelings you're feeling, the relationships you're extending?
Yeah. What you were just talking about reminds me of the whole idea. Well, first, Ernest Holmes says there's a power for good in the universe, and
True.
you can use it.
True.
And you can use it for good, you can use it for not so good. However, I was just thinking that, what was I thinking? Anyways, there's this powerful good in the universe and we can use it. You have a thing that you were talking about here that you wanted to talk about, stripping away the layers, the roles that we play, the names, the careers, the identities, the wins, the
Yeah.
wounds. And you have to sit there and think about what is it that you want to experience. You have to become the thing that you want to experience. You can't become successful and think thoughts of failure. You can't become wealthy and think thoughts of poverty. You have to become the thing that you want to experience. And all of a sudden, universe will match that. It's a reciprocal universe. You'll start to show more of that, whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're talking about. And so you are not what you do is one of the things you wanted to talk about, Dean. Maybe we can
Yeah.
talk about this. You're not what has happened to you. And for me, you're not what has happened to you is that the outside world, what's going on around you, it's not the reality. It's not real. It's just an illusion that you created, co-created with the universe, with infinite intelligence. And this is what you're experiencing. You want to change it? Like a mirage in the desert, you can see right through it.
Yeah.
Just start focusing on something else and that'll just disappear. And so, what are your thoughts on that, Dean, about you're not what you do, you're not what has happened to you?
Well, someone like, who are you? Well, I'm a new thought spiritual coach. I'm a spiritual counselor. I have a ministry called Living in Concert with Life. I live in Delaware. All of this. Who are you? All of that is great for conversation. I have a dear friend who says, when somebody asks me, what do you do? I say, well, I'll tell you what I do, but first I want to tell you about what I believe. Because it's in that place of what do you believe?
Hi, good morning. This is Susan
Where
Schaefer.
the idea of life it can expand. What you believe is that idea of life that expands your awareness. So that, what you're not what you do, and you're not what has happened to you in your life. Generally, whether it's good experiences or not so good experiences, it's still not you. The you-ness is so much greater than any of the experiences, any of the body, any of the thoughts that we have. And what we're doing, and today in the inner circle, when we go into the inner circle, we're going to do a twist on a meditation that Rich brought in. Gosh, it's such a fabulous meditation. It's a guided meditation on really becoming aware of your own awareness. And this is so hard to get across on social media or on a video, but can you take a breath as you just listen to this, everybody, and just be curious about the statement that you are not your thoughts, you are not your actions, you are so much greater than that. There is an awareness. When you strip away the past, you strip away the future, and your focus on them, just being in the now, and recognizing that you go on, Rich, you've got something going on.
Yeah, I have to get going.
Oh,
But
God.
I love that. You are not your past. You're not even your future. And this is what the meditation is about. Get rid of the past, get rid of the future. What are you doing right now in the present? That's who you are.
What are
And
you
so
doing?
I wish I could be here for this conversation, but I got to go. My client's on.
All right.
We'll talk to you guys later. Take
Let's see
care.
you.
Bye.
That's the infinite filmmaker, Richard Smith, with his client. As you sit here watching this, can you breathe and consider an aspect of who you are that you've never considered before? A place in the infinite creativity of life that you have never, ever identified in this particular way, in this particular day. That's partially what we call beginner's mind, seeing something in a new way than you've ever experienced before, with a sense of curiosity. It's been, as we pick these topics, of course, just it becomes part of our week, and I'm so excited to be here to talk about it. But and the reason I'm excited to be here to talk about it is because doing this kind of spiritual practice, like New Thought Tuesdays brings a sense of deeper faith into my life. Deeper faith into my life. It increases my connectivity with others. And I get to celebrate this faith mindfully, internationally. And that brings great joy. And still, Dean Regan is greater than that. Richard Smith is greater than that. Most importantly, you are greater than that which you are thinking and that which you're doing. We teach that the universe is an infinite mind, the capital M, infinite, never ending, and that we are expressions of that mind. So, and then Holmes talks about back of all form, what we see, feel, the things that we think are reality, back of all manifestations, that which we want to manifest. There's one unformed, uncreated, absolute being. And that's what we're going to talk about and explore in the inner circle. And for those of you who don't know, the inner circle is a membership portion of New Thought Tuesdays. After these opening remarks, Rich and I go into the inner circle and speak with the members of the inner circle, specifically, confidentially, about taking this information even deeper. And we do prayerful meditation. We do some sort of spiritual practice. And we explore things that just are not resonant. Like, I don't understand that, or I don't know that, or I don't feel that. It's a very open and wonderful way to experience and express New Thought, Ancient Wisdom teaching. So you can go to newthoughttuesdays.com and focus on our homepage there. It'll tell you how to get emails to remind you about New Thought Tuesdays. And if you're interested in becoming a member of the Inner Circle, it'll show you how you can do that. Emma Curtis Hopkins. Okay, she's the next one. Just before we go in, she says, I do not believe in age, in death, in failure. I believe in life only, and that I am that life. She reminds us that the I, or as I like to call it, the great I am, is untouched by experiences. Who are you being right now? Are you being love, or are you being not love? Are you being compassion, a form of love, or are you being not compassion? Who are you not? And what remains after you describe to other people who you are? Because that is truly who you are, that which is beyond the human. So this week, don't just think about your spiritual thoughts, but be that awareness behind the thinking. Right now, I'm being that awareness behind the speaking and behind the thinking. There's a sense of being love. There's a sense of humility right now. There's a sense of infinite possibility. There's a sense of wisdom. There's a sense of delight. And still, all of these adjectives are just arrows pointing to that true source of being, that beingness that is beyond the fear, doubt, and worry, the courage, the confidence, anything on the positive side or anything on the negative side. We hope, on behalf of Rich and myself, that we have been supportive of you in getting an even deeper awareness of who you are. We will continue to do this every week, and so grateful that you're here with us. So as of right now, I am so grateful to be here, grateful to be with you, grateful to say